The tropical paradise of the Indian Ocean, Sri Lanka. In the past, this magnificent island, known as Ceylon, the pearl of the Indian Ocean, it is a wondrous destination for travelers from all over the world. In late 2009, it was announced that the 30 years of civil war has finally ended. Moving to a peaceful nation with unrestricted access, Sri Lanka has become one of the most popular destinations of the travel world. Inspiring heritage sites, from ancient cities to colonial forts, seductive beaches and tempting water sports, magnificent landscapes featuring lazy lagoons, fertile wetlands, ecologically wondrous types of forests, imposing mountains, bounteous rivers and waterfalls, an abundance of wildlife, much of it endemic, and the unique ecosystems. A vibrant culture that highlights the fine arts and crafts. Experience the grand cultural festivals, multi-religious people of diverse ethnicities in their beliefs and traditions. Charming Sri Lankans are renowned for their warm hospitality and great generosity and friendliness. Predominantly a Buddhist nation, with approximately 70% of the population following the religion. Also, since its introduction, the country has been a major propagator of Buddhism to the Southeast Asian countries. A number of Buddhist destinations and temples, where many of the ruins and monuments of ancient royal cities date back to the 4th century BC, make up for an interesting visit for you in the country. The royal city of Kandy, Sri Lanka's hill capital, is the capital of the central province of Sri Lanka and is renowned for its culture and beauty. This was the last capital of the Sri Lankan kings from 1593 to 1815, claimed and often acknowledged as one of the world's most beautiful cities. Although Colombo represents the prime commercial and administrative center, Kandy continues to remain the cultural capital of Sri Lanka, with a rich heritage of living monuments. Kandy is a sacred city to the Buddhist world. This is because of the temple of the sacred tooth relic, or the Sri Dalada Maligava, the most venerated Buddhist temple in Sri Lanka, which is located in the heart of the Kandy town. The Temple of the Tooth Relic Palatial Complex and the sacred city of Kandy are directly and tangibly associated with history of the spread of Buddhism, one of humanity's great religions. This city, formerly known as Senkadagalapura, is the southern tip of the world-famous cultural triangle of Sri Lanka. And Kandy is the 3rd World Heritage City of Sri Lanka, named by UNESCO in 1988. This historic temple of the sacred tooth relic is situated in Kandy, Sri Lanka. Undoubtedly, The greatest attraction of the Kandy city is this building, the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic, or the Sri Dalada Maligava. It is one of the most sacred places for the Buddhists all over the world. The Sacred Tooth Relic has been in this ancient temple, the Sri Dalada Maligava, for over 500 years. The temple is visited by thousands of devotees every day. Especially famous for its Sinhalese-style architecture. The most dominant feature of the building is the octagon, or the Pattiripua. This was a place from where the king addressed the public on special occasions. The Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic in Kandy is the final location of the sacred tooth, or the left canine of the Lord Buddha, which was brought to Sri Lanka during the reign of King Kirtisri Meghavanna in 4th century AD by Prince Danta and Princess Hemamala from the Kingdom of Kalinga, India. Since early 4th century AD, when the tooth relic was brought to Sri Lanka, this tooth relic was considered as a symbol of faith and sovereignty, in accordance with the belief that its possession will have the people's mandate on the king's legitimate right to the throne. Therefore, it became the palladium of the Sri Lankan kings and was preciously guarded in a special shrine built within the precincts of the royal palace, wherever the capital was located. The ruins of such large, impressive buildings remain in ancient capitals of Sri Lanka, such as Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa, Dambadeniya, Yapahuwa, Kurunagala, Kotte, and Gampola, while at Kandy, the last royal capital of Sri Lanka, the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic continues to be the greatest shrine that receives the utmost veneration of the Buddhist world. The British government too, at the time of signing the Kandyan Convention in 1815, agreed to protect the Sacred Tooth Relic and conduct all religious services without a break. And these are being carried out to the present days under the strict surveillance of the 3 chief custodians of the tooth relic, the most venerable chief incumbents of the 2 different chapters of Buddhist clergy of Sri Lanka, called Malvatta and Asgiriya, and the lay custodian, the Devadana Nilame. Many different types of traditional rituals, that is, series of actions that are always carried out in the same way, especially as a part of religious ceremony, are being carried out daily, weekly, monthly, and annually to pay homage to the tooth relic. These religious services have been carried out for over 2,000 years, and the unbroken lineage between past and the present days and their continuation assures the cultural heritage for the future generations. These rituals include 3 daily services called Tevava, which consist of morning, midday, and evening for symbolic offerings of food, flowers, lights, sound, water to the sacred tooth relic. Weekly ritual of symbolic bathing of the sacred tooth relic, followed by some monthly rituals being carried out by dedicated servicemen and women attached to the temple under the strict surveillance of the 3 chief custodians of the tooth relic, the 2 most venerable chief incumbents, and the lay custodian, the Devadana Nilame. The Kandy Asala Perahera is the most colorful and the biggest annual festival of the temple, held in the midsummer nights during the months of July or August every year for 10 days, where it also shows the harmonious blending of Buddhism and Hinduism. This gorgeous cultural pageant has history, religion, and a nation's culture mingled in it. This traditional rehearsal of Kandy's past glory carries a spiritual message too. This colorful Kandy Asala Perahera consists of a cup planting ceremony or planting the holy stick, part of Hindu tradition, followed by 5 days of Kumal Perahera, increasing the splendor by changing the distance and routes, increasing the number of dancers, drummers, elephants every day, and succeeded by 5 days of Randoli Perahera, which will increase its splendor daily, and on the last 3 days, more than 80 elephants taking part in the procession. The first part of the procession, or the Perahera, is dedicated to the sacred tooth relic and more relevant to Buddhism, and this part is called Dalada Perahera, followed by processions or Peraheras of the 4 Hindu temples dedicated to God Natha, God Vishnu, God Skanda, and Goddess Pattini. The complete procession will take approximately 3.5 hours. We recommend that this is a must-see event and probably the biggest cultural festival in Asia. The first performers to be seen in the procession are whip crackers. They lead the way and announce the approach of the Perahera by cracking their whips. There is an art in this, and it is not as easy as you may imagine. They are followed by fireball acrobats. Next, the flag bearers with the national flag and the Buddhist flag in front, followed by various regional and district flags, indicating the religious significance of this pageant. The Peramunerala, or the frontline officer. This official riding the first elephant carrying an old book or palm leaf manuscript symbolized the mandate from the king, giving permission to hold the Perahera or register the temple's lands as well as the tenants and the services due by them. Next, the Gajanayaka Nilame, or the chief of the royal elephant stable, is carrying a silver emblem of his office or department riding the second elephant. The dancers, drummers, musicians intermingle in between elephants. However, it is arranged in such a way that it heightens the faith in Buddhism. In the procession, high rhythm dancers are not to be seen. All arrangements and various types of dancing are lined up in keeping with the age-old traditions. The costumes of dancers are also not multicolored, but charming and soothing to the eye. Copra torch bearers, drummers, dancers, and elephants together with musicians never forget their responsibility, and they immensely contribute to the glamour of the procession. This live, breathtaking cultural spectacle becomes a reality in the eyes of the spectators because the pageant starts and ends in a well-organized manner. The performing artists are duty-bound to make the viewers enthralled with their talents as they consider their performance an offering to the tooth relic. Enormous efforts and measures have been taken by the organizers for making sure the continuation of traditions of performances, costumes, rituals and customs to protect this World Heritage event for the future generations. As you see, organizing this massive annual event where more than 1,000 artists and over 80 elephants and a large team to support this event is not easy. And we hope that with the blessings of the sacred tooth relic, organizers will continue to protect this giant cultural pageant for generations to come. The highlight of the procession is the Tusker elephant carrying the golden casket, symbolizing the sacred tooth relic. It is accompanied by 2 elephants on either side, carrying attendants who fan and shower the casket with fragrant jasmine.